Dear web designers, I'm briefly gonna go over the things on the textbook, but I'm mainly gonna attack the assignment itself or the exercise itself. To look for your Dreamweaver, your Expression Web uh, using Windows 8. From here, you can start the charm, and within the charm, you can type expression, and automatically should appear. If you have Windows 7, you can click on Start, and in this search box, you can type expression, and you can see Expression Web 4, and that's what we want. So we're going to start Expression Web 4, and it takes sometimes a little while because it's checking all your platforms. It does require a special Microsoft .NET platform that in order to run. It creates what we call a virtual server and allow us to see the website locally without actually publishing it. But we want to publish just to make sure. As you notice, this is the standard Expression Web and has a lot of components, but it's similarly to Microsoft Word document or any other word processing document. However, there are additional stuff. Some of the additional stuff we're going to talk about is the left area here has two pans, and the right area here has two pans with multiple tabs. We're not going to work with the toolboxes, the HTML and other elements in here. We're not going to work with snippets. It's not part of this textbook. But we will be working later on, later chapters, like chapter 4 maybe. We're going to work a lot with the cascade styling and how we can manage it, how we can apply it, how we can modify it. And the left side here, and this is really important, if you don't see anything in the folder list, that means you are not working into your website. When the chapter 1, it's not actually working with the website, you're only working with the one page. So the differences between a one page and the website is a collective of web pages and other elements that to actually run the website. For instance, images, multimedia like video clips, and so on and so on. At any rate, and below that you can see the properties of the tags we are working with. If you look at this, your main window, which is the work window, and already has three different views. They're right here. The first view is design view that you just go ahead and start typing and adding other elements to that page. Or you can go to the code view, and this is something that what we have seen when we work with the HTML tags. Or we can also do a split view. You can see the HTML view or the code view and the design view right here. For our purpose, we can mainly work with the design view. In my design view, you can see there's a little bit dotted box in here. You don't quite see it, but this is telling me I'm in one tag. And this particular tag is called the body tag. So if you click on the body tag, it will highlight everything I have in the body tag. But I want to add, my first thing I want to add a paragraph tag, which is something I wanted to work with. So if I'm going to follow the textbook on page 7, first, I want to save and rename the file. So to save, I can click on this save icon. I can go File, Save, or I can use Control S to quickly save. So I'm going to save. I want to make sure I'm going to save in the appropriate place. So I'm going to go to my data files. They are in my desktop. I'm going to search for that folder I'm working with. I'm going to go to my student data files, data for text, tutorial 1, and tutorial folder. And here I'm going to name it Web Club. As you notice, I've already done this exercise, but I'm going to select it again. So I'm going to name it webclub.html. Just for quick information to you, because each page should have a title, I'm going to quickly change the title right here. I will show you how to change it later, but I want to change it right now. So I'll click on change the title. This is the document title that we talked about in the first lesson. So in here I'm going to say Web Club. I can always change it if this is not the right one. Then I click Save. Of course, I'm going to get a message. You want to replace it? I'm going to say yes. So as you notice, we have the page saved, but it's not saved in a web folder. Just remember that. It's only saved in a regular folder. The difference between a web folder and a folder, the web folder is actually the Expression Web or Dreamweaver in that fact that will able to manage all the elements within that folder. There's another name for that web folder we call a root folder. So once in a while you hear me saying a root folder, so please do not mix up. The root folder is the main folder is for your website. But please remember this time tutorial 1 does not really quite cover the root folder or the root folder or the web folder. So I'm gonna start typing my first content, which is on page. Well, I want to make sure that you guys read the information that is given to you on page 7 through 19. It's about how to navigate the your Expression Web, the components, how pin and unpin, how you can float the pins. But that's something that you can actually play with. I really want to work with the content of the page. So the first things I'm going to add in here, I'm going to tap the first paragraph that you see on page 20 where it says East Shore College Web Page Design Club. Right away as I typed, it automatically inserted my P tag. What does the P tag stands for? It stands for my paragraph tag. So now I have a paragraph tag. Within the paragraph tag, I have my first content. Well, as soon as I hit enter, and it create another paragraph tag for me. Just a quick review in the code view, and that's what I have, the first tag and the second tag. This code right here that I'm highlighting, this is to add an extra space. Now, sometimes Microsoft Expression add those characters all the time, and sometimes you have to go in there and delete them manually. But when we start typing, this extra space automatically is gone. So the next thing I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be typing the pages 21. I'm going to type the paragraphs in page 21. Then we'll start moving things around, changing things around as it's seen fit. So give me a second here. I'm going to do some magic. So I'm going to already have the content typed somewhere. I'm going to just go ahead and copy it and paste it. Then I hit enter to add the second paragraph. See, I type very fast. Then I hit enter to add the last part of my paragraph, which is, in this case, I'm going to add my name, first name, and last name. Hit Shift Enter. What does Shift Enter do for me? The Shift Enter adds a special one-sided tag called BR, which is break the line. So this will allow me to have 2 lines within 1 paragraph. Again, the Shift Enter will allow me to have 2 lines or multiple lines. Depends how many Shift Enter you'll do within 1 paragraph. As you can see, I'm still in my paragraph, but I have 2 lines. And here I'm going to type tutorial 1. And to quickly save is Control S. One thing I want to mention, as we start typing, you can see this number right here start increasing. What is this number? This number is telling me how big is my page. So you have to keep your eye on this number, because if this number increases, the page will take longer to download. Again, just to explain a little bit more, if you are accessing any web page from the internet, you're actually downloading every content that page has. That's including colors, pictures, even videos, and so on. Sometimes they have viruses. That's why antivirus program is extremely important to check every site you're actually accessing. Another thing I want you to pay attention to is my viewing size. Here it says 957 pixels in width by 656 pixels in height. I don't worry about too much about the height, but I do worry about the width, because the width is changing, and later on we'll use either the CSS layout or the table to control the width size, because I want to make sure my website or my web page appears the same way in any different size of monitors. If you leave it blank, if my monitor is big, I will show you. Let me explain that to you. I'm going to save this. And to view this quickly in the browser, I click the function key F12. If you want to view it in a different browser, so I can use this icon right here and select the browser I want. So I'm going to use Chrome or Internet Explorer 9. So I'm going to use Internet Explorer 9. Now this is, as you see, the width of the content is 100% wide. It's based on the size of the window. If I reduce the size, what happened to the text? It wraps up. It just it stretches as long as the window size for the browser. So I'm going to leave this here, and we'll come back to it. Now, after I entered the text, I want to make sure that I have a good spelling. One sad thing, this program does not do grammatical check, but it does spelling check, and it's pretty good at it. What I usually do, I want to add a content that is a lot of people are gonna see in and view on the browser. I use actually Microsoft Word program because it does not just only check my spelling, it's also check my grammar. And as many of you know, English is not my first language. English is my third language, so I do occasionally do grammatical errors. Word would be a nice way to do that, to fix my errors. Then I can copy and paste in here. We'll show you how to copy and paste as a plain text. So, and on page 22, I'm going to do spell check. The quick function key for spell check is the function key F7. When I mean the function keys, those are the function keys above the numbers and the first row of your keyboard. Or I can do the following. I can click on Tools, Spelling, and Spelling. And here it will check my entire document for any errors. As you notice, we misspelled forward because we don't have the R after the O. I can ignore it or I can change it, and I will choose to change it. Next thing is, I already fixed my name, because sometimes you see your last name as an error. You can add it to the dictionary, and I did add my name to my dictionary. The next feature I'm going to use is also using the feature thesaurus, which is allowing me to change something to another word that it has the same meaning as the one you are working with. For instance, if I look for the word good in my page and I can't find it, I'm going to skip the book and trying to look for it. If I hit Control F, which is find, Control key down and letter F, and we'll look for good, and will find it for me. Now, this is also part of your book, but I'm going to cover it a little earlier. I can search for all open pages. I can search for everything on my website. If there is a website, I have it open. I can look for any directions, can do a matching case, but now I'm going to leave it as default, current page, and look for find next. And it's find this for me right here. So I'm going to close. I'm going to right click on good. I'm sorry. That's in Microsoft Word. Here you cannot do this. I'm going to do Shift key down and F7, and this will allow me to look for something more suitable, high quality, and replace. All right. So Control S to save. And page 25, they're asking you to find a word. Also, we can use find and replace. What does that mean? If you have a large document and you enter John instead of Jim, I can look for any John in my page and replace it with Jim. To do this, I can hit the Control key down and H for find and replace. So here I will have the word I'm looking for, and here what I wanted to replace it with. Now, sometimes John is part of another word, then I would say matching case. I hope that makes sense to you. In this case, I don't need to use it, so I'm going to close. So the next thing I'm going to work on is on page 26, where I'm going to cut and paste. So I'm going to highlight at our next meeting all the way to pages. I can do Control X to cut or edit cut, and I'm going to add it in here. I want to make sure I'm on the right track. Yes, I am. So right here, I'm going to say edit paste or just paste. If I want to see paste as text, let me show you that's content, because sometimes you're adding content from on the internet, which has formatting, even for Microsoft Word. When you copy and paste from Microsoft Word has had a tendency to use a lot of format, and that will make your job a lot harder to modify on your regular web page. So a lot of times I'm going to go edit, paste as text, plain text. If you have hyperlink, you can leave the hyperlinks in here. There are paragraphs, you can leave the paragraph format, or you can leave them all as one. So in this case, only sentence. So I'm gonna just click OK, and there it is. Control S to save. The next thing I'm gonna do, the last paragraph, I'm gonna move it to the first paragraph. I can highlight it, but I'm not highlighting the paragraph. I'm highlighting the text. I want to select the paragraph. I can select the paragraph by clicking on this tab right here, or I can click on the code for it right here. So once I select the paragraph, I can again cut, edit, cut, and go in front of that F right here and just edit, paste. Sorry, just paste. And we have two paragraphs. Again, make sure you highlight the entire paragraph and paste it. It does help quite a bit if you have certain format is included in that paragraph. Control S to save. As anticipated, we have to change the document title. Well, that's okay, but it's a really good idea when you create a web page, automatically change the title of the document. But if you made a mistake like I did, I can always change it later. I can change it in the code view, or I can do the following steps. To do the following steps, I'm gonna right click on anywhere on a page, and I'm gonna go to page properties. So let's examine the page properties dialog box. First, it tells me where that page is located. Second, it's telling me that page title or the document title. So if we are following the textbook on page 29, I'm gonna do that item 3. It's asking me to type East Shore College Web Page Design Club. So what's this? The other two boxes. Actually, we're not gonna talk about the rest of them. I will mention to you a little later. Let's examine this scenario. If you are using Google or Yahoo or MSN search engine, and you type in, you are looking for a club or college or mechanic or anything, you in that search box, you type what? The keywords. So here are the keywords which will make the web page searchable. And after the browser finds your page or finds your site, it shows the description describing that page. So the keyword could be anything you enter that is related to the business or the organization or the club you are working with. And the description is actually what the people are going to read. It's going to have to be a good grammar and good spelling. Otherwise, people would not stop by your page if there are some major spelling. So in the descriptions, I'm going to type, this is the home page of the web page design club. You can add more. Again, I can copy and paste for Microsoft Word. Here the keyword, sadly the textbook is not as good as I hope to be. Keyword is separated by comma, by best practice. So if I'm going to look at the very first keywords, I'm going to say East Shore College is one keyword. Do you agree? I can type the entire thing, East Shore College Web Design Club. That's one keyword. Or I can type Shore College. That's another keyword. Web Design Club. That's a keyword. Or just club. That's another keyword. It doesn't have to be a lowercase or uppercase. It's not case sensitive. Or I can type the entire thing because somebody will just type the entire thing to look for it. So I'm type East Shore College Web Page Design Club. And you can also add the area they're sitting in, like Rhode Island, and so on. Sometimes the keywords I create for my pages are half a page long. Where does those page description and keywords, we call them meta tags. Let me repeat. Those page descriptions and keywords are called meta tag. Where are they supposed to be? They're supposed to be on my very first page of my website. This is my index or default page, or in other words, my home page. Again, those meta tags, page description, and keywords have to be located in my very first page of my website. Automatically, this is my index or my home page, because if people want to go in your home page first, not any part of your pages. So base location here is if you have a special site that has different base link than your normal website, you add it in here. That's a little bit more advanced. Page direction is for you from left to right or right to left. This is actually adding cascade style. If you add a background sound, only works on Internet Explorer, does not work on Firefox or Chrome. So I would not recommend you to do it. And there are disadvantages of using a background sound. Sometimes your sound you added, like music, is very large, like 3 megabytes. It takes a while to download. Later on we'll talk about formatting and advanced tab and so on. But at this time, I'm gonna click OK, save, go to my browser, refresh, and see some of the changes. If I right click on my browser, go to view source, I see all the changes I have added. And here are my meta tags. The first one, which is the keyword, and the second one is my description. If this is only view, I cannot edit in here. I can edit it in Notepad if you want to, or I can edit it in Expression Web. So I'm going to close this window. Now, if you really don't want to see it in the browser, we're going to keep what you call a snap view. Again, snap view is not always the correct way to view the pages or the changes you are doing. I would recommend you to use the browser all the time, and not just Internet Explorer. View the pages in Chrome and Firefox. You want to make sure the contents are appear all the same in all browsers. But just to follow the book on page 31, I'm going to go panel, snapshot. It's going to show me a view right here, how it's going to look in the Internet Explorer. You can change it to different view if you are interested. So, and there they are. But I would not recommend it this way. There's another way I can do this. I'm going to close this one. It's on page 32, 33, using Super Preview. Super Preview is not something I would recommend you to do, but it does not quite work. I can select Internet Explorer in this area here, and then select Firefox to do comparison. Oh, see, I had got errors already. It's not supported. So I'm not going to do it. Okay? So Super Preview, it's not something I do care for, and I hope you don't. However, something I want you to take advantage of is getting help. A lot of times the book doesn't cover everything, but Expression Web has a tremendous large help library, can allow you to navigate or actually apply things that the book does not mention. It's just by using user guide or click F1 to quickly activate help. You can search for the area I want. For instance, I want to do hyperlink. Search for the topic, give you a list of topics. Some of those topics could be online about expression, and in some of them have videos and so on and so on. So I hope you enjoy chapter 1. I know it's not as hard, but we'll get better and harder. Bye-bye.